Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinnavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Radam cha Radam cha Varadam cha, where Hastaihi, in the form of the hands, in the form of the hands, holding these various things. And what is this form doing? It's a blessing form. Bibhranam. Bibhranam means protective form. From bhr to protect. Bibharti, protects, upholds, sustains, nurtures, nourishes. So the whole form is a nourishing form. It's not an emaciated form. It's a form of wholeness. It's a form of blessing. And then the mascot is Mushaka. Mushaka is a mouse, rat, whatever you want to call that, a rodent, better. You know, it's not in the eastern countries we don't keep rodents, guinea pigs, guinea pig to pig. We don't keep them as pets. We don't keep them as pets. A rodent is unsavory and it is put out of the house, and also it is sneaky because when you look for it, it hides, and when you're not looking for it, what does it do? It will bless you with various, funny sounds. So the rodent signifies an unwelcome, if stealthy intruder who takes over your life, really, and eats the things that are meant for you. Correct? And is awake when you are asleep. Very interesting. So the rodent signifies the restless mind filled with ragadveshas, which get activated when one is not alert. So the rodent sneaks into the mind. The rodent of desires has a calamitous influence, calamitous effect in the antahkarna. It runs up and down, Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Mouse ran down the clock and make the clock strike when it's not supposed to strike. It does all kinds of, stealthy things. Never seen but always heard. You hear it but you never see it. It hides. And also it has another way. They say that it has the rodents have the head, the skull bone bends flat like a penny. So they are able to come through the narrowest of openings. So if the mind gives openings to these restless thoughts, they will enter. An army of rodents will enter and create havoc in the mind. Who do you call? Ganesha Pied Piper. Yeah. With the Om Gam music to lead these mental rodents of ragadveshas on the road to destruction. This is what we want. So here Mushaka Dhvajam means on the flag is the mouse. So the flag means the mascot. So here Ganesha rides that particular animal which represents the restless mind, the subjective mind full of projections, and these ragadveshas are active just like the mouse is active when it is dark. The ragadveshas are active in ignorance, in a mind covered with ignorance. And the Lord rides this, means has mastery over such a mind. So really speaking, the Lord of self-knowledge, who helps me tether these desires first, suspend them, take them away, and enlighten this mind. Mushakadhvajam. And then further things are given. Lambodharam. No, one more. Raktam. Raktam means red. Lambodharam, red-bellied Bhagavan. Red is the creative force, and all the creation starts with a belly. And people say in stories, oh, he eats so much, God Ganesha is a glutton. And academics, Western academics also say this. Not a glutton. One who bibharti, nurtures samsara like a mother would. The mother keeps the baby in the belly and nurtures the baby. So too the Jagat is really the belly of Bhagavan. The whole universe is fit into the belly of Bhagavan. And it is round because the universe is whole. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. It's round. And it's red because it's got the creative Shakti. Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Shaktyatmakam. Jagat, this whole Jagat, which is full of the creative force of Bhagavan, is there. That's why it is red. And Lambodharam, big belly, we already saw that. Shurpa Karnakam, very interesting. Shurpa means the basket with which you winnow. The word Shurpa is also used in a slightly less savory context. One of the asuras of Ramayana. What was her name? Shurpanakha. She had nails in the form of winnowing baskets. Like this, huge nails. Shurpanakha. And she was the one who wanted to marry Lord Rama. And Lord Rama politely turned her down and said, I'm not free, I'm already married, but here you can propose to my brother. She got very angry. Yeah, and did all kinds of mischief afterwards. So this is Shurpanakha, not to be confused with Shurpakarnaka. Sounds similar, but be aware here. Shurpakarnaka, the ears are in the form of the winnowing basket. What does the winnowing basket do? Separate the husk from the grain. And of course in Eugene this is always a troublesome metaphor. Because here Eugene, you go to the grocery shop and they sell rice husk in one thing. And it's more expensive than the rice. Here they'll throw away the rice and eat the husk. So this is Eugene. So, but anyhow, the husk stands for unwanted things here. So the ears of the Lord only hear that which is wanted and throw away the unwanted things. Inspiring us to do the same. Bhadram karnevi sriniyama devaha. He's showing that through his ears. And then Raktavasasam, wearing red clothes, red again for creativity. And Rakta Gandhanu Liptangam, the whole body is smeared with red sandal paste, which is more fragrant and rarer to find. So it's a wonderful offering. And then of course, what color flowers will you use to worship? Red flowers. Rakta Pushpaihi Supujitam. Nicely worshipped, the one who is nicely worshipped by red flowers. And then what? Bhaktaanukampinam. Anukampinam means anukampin. Kamp to shake. Kampin, the one who shakes. Anu, the one who shakes after. Very nice. So who is shaking now? Bhakta. Bhakta is shaking, correct. The devotee is shaking for various reasons. Quaking devotee, not a Quaker devotee, quaking devotee, difference. So, the quaking devotee goes in front of the Lord and the Lord also starts to anuquake. No. Anuquake, anukampinam means, it's not that the Lord is physically shaking, The Lord is mentally sympathetic to the fears of samsara, compassionate. The Lord is not suffering along with the devotee. Then that would not make him Lord. The Aishwaryam would be gone. So the Lord is not suffering along with the devotee, but the Lord is anukampa. So kampa is there for the devotee, the fear, the sorrow, the shaking, the helplessness, the alienation, the suffering. And then the Lord can say, I am beyond all of it. Oh, you lowly mortal, you remain in samsara, this is your problem. No, the Lord understands how difficult it is to be in samsara, and so is sympathetic without identifying with the suffering of the devotee. This is called bhaktanukampinam, the one who is always sensitive to the needs, fears, desires, pains and sorrows of the devotees living in samsara, crying, Trahimam, Pahimam, Rakshamam, protect me, help me, save me. And so the Lord is sympathetic. That's why he has a big ear. He is listening very well. He listens to the woes of the entire universe. And Bhaktanukampinan, who is this? Deva. What is Deva? Self-shining. That which shines without electricity or without sunlight or solar power, without any source of light. The one that shines is called, Devam. And who is Devam? You are Devam. You are the one that is the effulgent, self-effulgent being. And that Devam is Bhagavan also. You cannot separate yourself from that. That Brahman, that self-effulgent being I am. How do I know? Are you here? Yes. That is how you know. What is that says yes? The Deva says yes. That self-shiningness is the one that says yes. So that's how I know. And then who is this Bhagavan? Devam is Swarupa Lakshana, and then immediately followed by Tatastha Lakshana Jagat Karanam. See, this is how to unpack. This is the gift of the Guru, the grace of the Guru and the grace of the Parampara. This is how you learn. And so, Devam, Sacchidanandam here, and then Jagat Karanam, Ishvara. You see, that Sacchidananda, at that level I have the identification, but yet I can enjoy being a devotee when I invoke the Jagat Karanatvam, the cause of the universe, which is an incidental glory of Bhagavan. Which the intrinsic glory is Sacchidananda, which is non-separate from you. But I also invoke the incidental glory, because incidentally I need it to get through with my life, and I need it. I'm in inherent need of it really. And so I invoke both the glories, the one that comes and goes and the one that is the Swarupa of Bhagavan, and then that just in case we don't give the precedence to the Tatastha Lakshana, it is capped off with Achyutam. Chutihi navidyate yasya. Chuti means downfall is not there for which. So the Lord is free of health problems, doesn't have cholesterol. That's why you can continue to offer laddus. The Lord is free of age, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, old age, birth, death, all these things, disease. So first you have birth and death. Those are the bread pieces. And what is the sandwich? The butter and jam are old age and disease. That is the samsara sandwich of modifications. Yeah. The Lord is free of whichever modification you think, completely free. And so that which apachaya, upachaya, rahitam, that which is free of increase and decrease, and then what? And so where was the Lord? When was Ganesha's birthday? Ganesh Chaturthi? No. Along with the creation, the one who was already there. Avirbhutam, who magically created his form himself. Out of his own Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. He created out of his own Maya. Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. To quote the Bhagavad Gita. Out of his own Maya he created his form. a magical form that is not subject to death, disease, age, which is beyond time. And this form was there Srishtyadav even before creation. Srishtehe Prak, taking us straight away to the Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asit. All that was here before this came to manifest. Idam Agre, before this came to manifest, was Sat alone. And that Sat here is worshipped as Lord Ganapati, Lord Ganesha. And then here this is usually misunderstood. We have to listen carefully here. Prakritehe Purushatcha Param. Param means the absolute, the ultimate, beyond which there is no goal, beyond which attaining whom as oneself there is nothing more to attain. So that is Param. Prakriti here means Maya Shakti, Prakriti. Purusha generally means Bhagavan. But here, since Purushat Param, nothing is beyond Bhagavan, correct? So we have to take Purusha as Jiva. So beyond the Jiva and the Jagat. Yeah. Existing as the truth of the Jiva and the Jagat, and the one that gives being to the Jiva. And what is this being? An alienated being. That is what is the truth. The one that, the one who appears in the form of the Jiva, the one who appears or is manifest in the form of the Jagat, without whose essential Swarupa is neither Jiva nor Jagat, remains Ishvara. Very nice. Did you understand this? The one who is beyond everything cannot be any one thing, but no thing can exist without that thing alone, which gives everything its content, its being, its existence. One who is the source of the existence of all names and forms means no name and form can subsist without him, without this source. But the source is free of being any particular name and form. That's why the source is limitless. So this is what is, Prakritehe Purushadapi Param. And then this is a meditation, as I told you, visualized meditation. And then meditation is what? Evam, in this manner, dhyayati, the one who meditates. Yaha, the one who. When? Once in a lifetime. Nityam, all the time. Nityam evam vidam, knowing this in this manner, evam vidam, in this manner, the one who visualizes the Lord Nityam, what happens? Saha yogi bhavati, becomes a seeker in the truest sense, becomes a bhakta in the truest sense, seeks in the right way, in the right direction at the right time. And then what? Yoginam varaha bhavati, becomes the best of devotees, the best of yogis, because this is the only thing that is there to seek. So this mantra helps us to channel the search, helps one to channel the search in the correct direction. The goad and the snare, the pasha, the rope and the snare, the goad help to channel the search. This visualization focuses, we can even take it this way, the visualization focuses the mind and quietens it so that one discovers the devotee within and becomes the best among the seekers. And this is concluding very beautifully from Swam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam. Where did we hear that? Bhagavad Gita? Huh? Where did we hear that? Right here, earlier, yesterday. Swam Yogino, look for it. Go back, one page. Swam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam. Did I make it up? Is it there?
Obvious.
Yeah.
6.
And so first it was a little bait, a carrot was given. or carrot cake at the end of the stick was given. Who wants carrots? A carrot cake was suspended at the end of the stick and given with some nice sugary icing. That only the rarest of yogis worship you, right? And then the akanksha in the heart was created. Oh, I want to become the rarest of yogis. How? How? I should also worship. Okay, let me learn the mantra. Let me learn this. And then the upasamhara is given here. Beautiful conclusion. Tvam yogino dhyayanti nityam pratignya there. And evam dhyayati yo nityam. Same conclusion. Same words are used. Evam dhyayati yo nityam sayogi yoginam varaha. And so now that yogi that you desire to be, you already have become. You have transformed yourself in the course of even studying this Upanishad. Because you have gone through this worship, you have gone through the visualization, you have gone through chanting the mantras, and from wanting to be that rarest of the rare yogis, you have become the best of seekers, ready to receive self-knowledge. This is what the beauty of this Upanishad is. You become the best of the devotee. And then what? Then it concludes with a prayer. Let us look at that. Namo Vratapataye. Namo Vratapataye. Namo Ganapataye. Namo Ganapataye. Namah Pramathapataye. Namah Pramathapataye. Namastestu. Namastestu. Lambodaraya. Lambodaraya. Ekadantaya. Ekadantaya. Vighna Vinashine. Vighna Vinashine. Shivasutaya. Shivasutaya. Shri Varadamurtaye. Shri Varadamurtaye. Namaha. Namaha. Yeah, I just I just chanted it without swaras, but since there is only one full stop, we had to break. But usually you take a big bellows breath and then you go Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramathapataye, Namaste Astu Lambodaraya, Ikadantaya, Vighna Vinashine, Shivasudaya, Shri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha. That's how it sounds, okay? Yeah. So this is a ultimate prostration, the ultimate, what's its name? The ultimate namaskara, the surrender, expression of surrender to the various forms of this very Lord. And Vratapataye. Vrata means the Lord of all the obstacles. Ganapataye. We have seen this at length. The Lord of all the groups, Ganas. And then Namaha Pramatha Pataye. Pramatha is the attendants of Lord Shiva. So the one who is the foremost of the attendants of Lord Shiva. Namaste Astu. May there be surrender from me. For whom? Lambodharaya, the big bellied one. Ekadantaya, the single tusked one. Vighna Vinashin. Vighna Vinashine, fourth case, compound. Vignam Vinashayati, the one who iti Vighna Vinashin. So the one who destroys all Vignas, obstacles. Shivasutaya, the one who is universally worshipped as the son of Lord Shiva. And Varadamurti means the one whose form is nothing but the giver of the desires, the bestower of desires for the devotees. So unto that Namaha. And so this concludes the Upasana portion of the Upanishad, the Ganapati Upanishad. So let us just look at this here from page 1, just briefly. Mantras number 1 to 6. Teaching the essential nature of Bhagavan and the identity with Bhagavan. Mantras 7 to 10, Upasana, Nirguna and Saguna. Mantras 11 to 16, Phalashruti. Phalashruti I will explain. Phalashruti is the declaration of the results of chanting this after understanding, not just simply chanting it. And this we are going to finish today itself. So this I am going to go a little quick because there is not really much to explain. Etad Atharvashirsham yo adhite. The one who studies this Atharvashirsha. Atharvashirsha means what? The head of Atharva. Yeah, the head of Atharvana Rishi. That is the Veda. The whole Veda is called Atharvaveda. And Atharvashirsha means this Upanishad is the head. It's like saying Viveka Chudamani, the crown jewel of Viveka. So the head of all the mantras, all the Upanishads is this Atharvashirsha. Yaha adhite, the one who studies and understands the meaning, not just repeats. Saha, what happens to such a person? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, becomes one with Brahman, which is what one wants. One is already one with, but knows that one is one with Brahman. Saha sarva vignaihi na badhyate. Such a person, in the scope of their quest, is not troubled by obstacles, is not bound by obstacles, is not bound by samsara. Sa sarvataha sukham edhate. All they gain everywhere is happiness. Sa pancha mahapapat pramuchyate. The person is freed from the omissions and commissions called the 5 great papas. What are the 5 great papas? 5 great papas? Killing, stealing, and then being unfaithful, adultery, killing, stealing, and then 2 others. Huh?
Slander.
No, slander is not in the. Huh?
Lying.
No, there is one more. There is killing, stealing, and adultery, and then 2 more are there. I will tell you some other time. Some horrible things. If anybody else knows, lying. I don't think so, but you can check it up. This time I will allow you to Google Pancha Mahapapa and find out and let me know. Yeah. So somebody just Google and let me know. Yeah. So 2 others I am forgetting. Sometimes they call it 6 Mahapapas and include gambling, but that's an yeah. So himsa, stealing. Himsa is killing, but there is one more form of himsa. I think maybe verbal himsa, something. Somebody will tell us. Verbal himsa. Yeah, libel. That's what you were calling libel. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So somebody will tell us. We will just continue till then. So anyhow, whatever the 5 great Mahapapas are, we are freed from that. The person who is studying this Upanishad is freed from the Mahapapa. Sayamadhiyano divasakritam papam nashayati. So if you study this in the evening, what happens? All the day, the full day's papa is gone. Yeah. No, that Anand, that is the 6 negative emotions. That's not it. Okay? Yeah. 5 Mahapapas. And that's different. Yeah. And correct. Eating and drinking wrong things. Yes, that's the one. Being unfaithful to your partner, and then doing wrong things to others, hurtful things to others, killing, and then coveting other people's property, stealing. Yeah. So this is the 5 Mahapapas. Thank you, Anisha. And so these are the 5 Mahapapas. Now Sayamadhiyano. If you say this in the evening, what happens? All the papas committed during the daytime are destroyed. Oh, that's a good time to say it. Prataradhiyano ratrikritam papam nashayati. If I say it in the morning, all the plotting that I have done, all the nefarious nighttime activities that I may have done, some people are nocturnal, like bank robbers and the like. So then the bank robbers should chant it when? During the day. The regular people should chant it in the evening, perhaps. So options are given. So if you chant it in the morning, all the nighttime papas are destroyed, and if you chant it during the day, if you chant it in the night, all the morning and the daytime papas are destroyed. And then what happens? Sayam pratah prayunjano papo bhavati papaha apapaha bhavati. So if you chant it morning and evening, all the papas are destroyed. And then dharmartha kama moksham cha vindati. The person gains all the 4 purusharthas. Whichever one you want, you gain. Whatever you don't want, also you gain. And then it comes with a warning. Idam Atharvashirsham. This sacred Upanishad, which is the head of the Atharvaveda, Ashishyaya Nadeyam. Don't give it to an unworthy person. The person who is not an adhikari, who doesn't have interest, who doesn't have desire to learn, is not qualified, do not give. And then another caveat, yo yadi, if somebody mohat dasyati, out of temptation, lucrative temptations, or temptation to become famous, or whatever it is, tries to, out of delusion or temptation gives it, sapapiyan bhavati. The person who teaches becomes a person who is full of omissions and commissions of all kinds. So this is a caveat that comes with every Upanishad, with every mantra really, because there is a qualified person, and if the qualifications are not there, the teacher is advised, please do not waste your time trying to teach it to somebody who is not there to receive it. So see the readiness and then teach. And then sahasra avartanad yam kamam adhite. Yam kamam adhite. So then sahasra avartanad means after a avartana means purascharana here. Purascharana means when you chant this without stopping, without consecutively every day for 1,000 days without stopping. Yeah. That means you do what is called purascharana. It's a complete circle. 1,001 times or 1,008 times you chant it. 1,008 times. And then what happens is that whatever they desire, they get. That person gets everything that they wanted. So yam kamam adhite, whatever desire they had, tam anena sadhyet. All of it is immediately fructifies, is immediately given. So this was this was the 11th mantra, is the direct phalashruti. What happens if you chant this Upanishad? Now the question is, will all this happen if I chant it after I understand the meaning? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Chant and see. See if it happens. Suppose you say, it did not happen, then the Veda always wins. You can't argue with the Veda, because there is the small print. There is the fine print. What? You have to chant it with bhakti, you have to chant it with understanding, you have to chant it with no distraction. So can you say that all these things you did without distraction? No, I can't. So there. So that the Veda always wins in this situation. But then there is another explanation for the Phalashruti, because the Phalashruti really is not needed for a Jignasu. Because the Jignasu is not trying to gain something out of this prayer. The Jignasu is just trying to pray so that the inner jungle is free of predators and can see the glory, so that one is secure and safe to see the glory and to sit with one's own glory. So that is what one is praying for. So the Phalashruti is immaterial. But that's not, everybody is not there yet, correct? And so for the people, there are some people who only worship for the sake of gaining things in time. Time-bound things, which one wants. And there is nothing wrong in wanting time-bound things if one's focus is really on the timeless. The timeless includes the time-bound also. And so there is nothing wrong in praying for dharmic desires. And so this Upanishad gives a way for praying for dharmic desires and promises their fulfillment as well for those who want only that. Then we get a little more elaborate. So first we had the Gam mantra, then we have Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Ganapati Gayatri, and then we had the formed dhyanam, correct? So from the most subtle we are getting to the most gross. And then we had the Phalashruti, and now the teacher is going to, even for people for whom even this dhyanam is too much, the mental visualization of the red colored Ganapati with the red clothes and red flowers, having snare and hook in the hands and having a blessing hand or a single tusked hand is too much. They cannot do that. They need to actually be physically doing something, And so for them an elaborate puja is given, as part of the Phalashruti from verse 12 onwards. Very, very interesting. And so that puja is given for people who don't have the mental strength yet to have the mental worship of visualizing. So therefore you physicalize the worship. There is also another reason this is given, because the physicalized worship, don't put it down, because it gives the most punya. Yeah. Don't put down Abhisheka. Don't say, oh, it is for those people down there. I am beyond Abhisheka. No. Because in this pursuit, there are so many barriers. Abhisheka, dressing the Lord, puja, all these things make you put effort. And when you make that effort is called punya karma. That effort brings karma. That effort brings karma phala. And the effort is in the right direction brings good karma phala called punya. And the effort to do puja is immediately gives two kinds of phala. What is the first kind? Drishta phalam, very good. Immediate phala, which is palpable, is that I feel free because I have surrendered the helplessness. And then there is a long-term phala that is given, which is invisible, which fructifies either in the here or the hereafter. And then that is called adrishta. Papa also same things, immediate ouch, and then ow, 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 later on. And that ow, ow, ow is a refrain that goes on life after life after life, correct? And so, sandwiched between birth and death, many, many ows. And so, therefore, this what makes me have vignas in the first place is the adrishta durita, called durita. Adrishta is coming out from papa. Adrishta papa is called durita. Unseen papas coming out is what is causing me to have, whether it's physical pain or emotional block, fears, resistance, alienation, helplessness, samsara. It's adrishta. It's my own papa that is coming out in a package deal, really. And then, here is where one can feel, even sink into the depths of helplessness and say, oh, I am in the spate of karma, I can't do anything. So what is karma? Adrishta. Yes, you can do something. Prayer is action. And when you pray, you create new adrishta to inoculate you against the effects of the other adrishta. It's better than the flu shot, a shot of prayer. Really. A flu shot, what does it do? It creates certain adrishta. So in the sense that, because you don't see what happens. They just inject some, dead flu bug inside you. That's all. dead or dying. Flu bug inside you, flu virus they inject, little bit you feel a little ill immediately, and then after that you know everybody is hacking away, and you are just safe from the virus. So too the Papa virus is attacking. It's an epidemic called samsara. Wherever you go, various strains of the Papa virus that keep mutating. Yeah, they keep changing. You discover a remedy for one Papa virus, another one is born, and then so you need the punya inoculation. You get a shot of prayer, and then you inoculate yourself. You become immune to the Papa virus. And if the prarabdha is not too strong, it will neutralize completely, or it will give you the strength to bear it. It will become manageable. And so therefore the physicalized prayer cannot be put down. But here in the Upanishad, it doesn't have much of a meaning, because we have gone beyond the first portion of the Veda. But still the teacher, out of compassion for the heart and knowing that this is Lord Ganesha's prayer, and since it has there are a lot of obstacles, gives us with great compassion some ways of invoking Ganesha through physicalized prayer. Anena Ganapatim Abhishinchati. So if you do Abhisheka with this mantra, what happens? Savagmi Bhavati. You become a great orator. So if you want to become a big teacher of Vedanta, then start doing Ganapati Abhisheka. You start doing Ganapati Abhisheka with Atharvashirsha Upanishad, then you become Vagmin. You know, the Vagmin doesn't mean the one who has Vak. Everybody has Vak. Vak means talk. Everybody talks. But here Vagmi means a great, great teacher. And then Chaturthyam Anashnan Japati. So if you fast on the 4th day of the moon, because I told you that is Ganesha's day, that is when the hapless moon met with his fate. And so when he made fun, so if you fast on that day and then you keep chanting this mantra, then what happens? Savidyavan bhavati. You become full of all kinds, you become a scholar of the Vedas. So Vagmi, the teacher of the Vedanta, here the scholar of the Vedas, which is very laudable desire to do that. Iti Atharvana Vakyam. If supposing somebody is going, really? Is this really going to happen? He says, this is the promise of the sage Atharva himself. Brahmadhya charanam vidyanna bibheti, kadachaneti. Then if you chant this, in the beginning of the day, Brahma Muhurta, then what happens? It removes fear. Fear is not there. It gives a relative freedom from fear. The absolute freedom from fear comes after the assimilation of the meaning of the mantra. In which case it would have said na bibheti kutaschaneti. When you understand that the purport of this Upanishad is that there is nothing other than you, that Ganesha that you seek, that Ganapati is you alone. When you understand that, there is total freedom from fear. Here a relative freedom from fear, because all the Purusharthas I have dedicated, all the fears I have dedicated. I have done Namaha, Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namo, Namo, Namo. I have, said many times. And I have dedicated my helplessness and my alienation. So there is no fear, in a relative way, clearing the way for me to pursue this knowledge of absolute fearlessness as the truth of myself. Yo durvankuraihi jayati yajati. Durvankura means little blades of the durva grass, which is said to be dear to Ganesha. Don't forget, the mouth is that of an elephant. So tiny shoots of tender durva grass, if you worship while chanting this mantra, if you offer, sa vaishvopamo bhavati. Vaishravopamo. Vaishrava means Lord Kubera. Who is Lord Kubera? Money Bhagavan. Money bags Bhagavan. Full of money. And here too we have a very entertaining story. That Lord Kubera invites Ganesha for lunch. Ganesha of course says, yes, I'll come. And Shiva sends an SMS to Lord Kubera saying, my son has a huge appetite. Lord Kubera says, you're talking to the Lord of Wealth. Whatever he wants, I will feed. Don't worry, just send him. Ganesha goes. He eats the entire buffet and he goes into the kitchen and eats all the raw materials in the pantry. And then Kubera is the Lord of Wealth. The whole house is made of gold chairs, gold tables, gold lamps, gold computer. And then he proceeds to eat the gold tables and chairs and cushions and everything. And Kubera immediately texts Lord Shiva, what to do? You were right. And Lord Shiva gives 5 dried seeds and sends him, couriers him 5 dry seeds and says, feed him this. He will be okay. He will stop destroying your house and eating away your wealth. And he consumes these 5. What is 5? Om Namah Shivaya Panchakshari. Bija, seed. So 5 seeds he gives and the one is satiated. So Ganesha was here role playing that of the Jiva, unsatiated, completely like a hungry ghost, eating this and that, consuming all kinds of things until the real thing is understood. Not Coca-Cola, the real thing, which is Brahman, is understood. Very beautiful metaphor. So, then, why did I talk about Kubera? Because Kubera comes, he will be as rich as Kubera. Vaishravana upamo bhavati. Vaishravana is Kubera. Vaishravana upama means just like Kubera they will be in terms of their wealth. Yo lajaihi yajati. Laja is puffed rice. So the one who does a fire ritual using this Ganapati Upanishad, offering puffed rice, sa yashoban bhavati, becomes very famous. Sa medhavan bhavati, becomes very intelligent. Yo modaka sahasrena yajati, the one who offers 1,008 sweet laddus called modaks, then savanchita phalam avapnoti, gains all the things that they desired. Yah sa ajyam samidbhihi yajati, the one who offers a fire ritual along with these mantras in the Upanishad with twigs, sticks dipped in ghee. Then what happens? Sasarvam labhate, gains everything, gains indeed everything. So, and why is there a repetition? Because there is a slight change here that we see. Because verses in the Phalashruti, verse 10, and 11 can be considered, 11 is Phalashruti, and then 12 is, and 13 are the worship of the form, specific worship of the form and their phala. And then here is number 14 and the next one, one is missing, I think. No, number 14. That's all? Oh, I thought it was 16. Oh, very well. Okay, number 14 is a wonderful conclusion by giving some big kinds of japa, to gain the maximum phalas. So, on the most tangible levels. Ashtau brahmanan samyak grahitva. If you teach 8 people nicely means until they grasp it. They shouldn't look blank after you have taught them. They should look intelligent, transformed, happy. as all of you are looking, as all of you are appearing, they should appear intelligent, transformed, contented and happy. If 8 people, Brahmana here means worthy and deserving people, if 8 of them you teach, then what happens? Surya Varchasvi Bhavati. You have the tejas, you have a halo like the sun. You have the fame and the halo as the sun. The sun is very famous. There is not a single person who doesn't know the sun, right? And then Surya Grahe, and there is a connection with Surya here. Surya Grahe, Graha means Grahana here. What is Grahana? Grahana means eclipse. Let it be, it's okay. So, Surya Grahe means in the solar eclipse. Grahayitva means having caused them to understand. So, having made them understand. Surya Grahe means in the solar eclipse. Mahanadhyam Pratim Asannidhau va japtva. So, Pratima Sannidhau va japtva. So, 2 things you can do during the eclipse, which is go take a bath in the river and do meditation sitting in the river, or do meditation sitting in front of the Bhagavan at home. The eclipse is not good for anything else. Eclipse is seen as a time for retreat. Why? Because the eclipse signifies the sun-like brilliance. It reminds us of the ignorance that one carries that needs to be gone. So the going of the eclipse is celebrated, and the time of the eclipse is celebrated by going within and doing something to prepare the mind for the knowledge. So Surya Grahe, during the time of the eclipse, Mahanadyam, you go in the Mahanadi, any big river, sit in the river and meditate, or Pratima Sannidhau, or in front of the Lord Ganesha's image, you sit and meditate. Japtva, having done this meditation, then Siddhi Mantro Bhavati. Siddhi Mantraha means the one for whom the mantras have finished their purpose and accomplished. The one who is accomplished in this Ganapati mantra. One becomes accomplished in the mantra by doing this during the eclipse. And then what happens? Mahavignaat pramuchyate. Mahavignaat, all difficult obstacles, big obstacles, horrible obstacles, unknown obstacles, unwanted obstacles, free. Pramuchyate, prakarshena muchyate. And then Mahadoshaat pramuchyate. Mahadoshat pramuchyate, all difficulties, mahapapas, all fallacies, all difficulties, all rogas, all illnesses, pramuchyate, becomes free. Mahapapat pramuchyate, same thing, becomes free of one's own omissions and commissions. And then Mahapratyavayat pramuchyate. Pratyavaya is a very interesting dosha. It's a fallacy. What is this Pratyavaya? See, if you do Nitya Karma, what happens? Every day you do karma. Do you get punya? Yes? No?
Yes.
No. You don't get punya for doing what you're supposed to do. Do you brush teeth? Do you get a candy after brushing teeth? No. Oh, I don't get punya if I do Nitya Karma? Nope. So then I need not do. Well, if you don't do Nitya Karma, you get a papa called Pratyavaya. Akarane Pratyavaya. Can't get out of Nitya Karma. Because why do you do it? Because at least this is for the people who don't understand, Karma Yoga, etc. This is right in the beginning, Karma Yoga 101. So before the person understands this, they are told you have to do these Panchamaha Yajnas every day. You have to feed the birds, you have to feed the animals, you have to feed a guest, so that you just don't cook for yourself all the time, and you get into the spirit of giving. So you have to propitiate the rishis, the gods, all these things we just told. Because that's where the person is at. So 5 kinds of givings you have to practice. And then, so if I practice this giving, then I will get punya. No, you will not. Then why should I practice this giving? Because if you don't practice, you will get papa. Oops. This is basically what the thing is. This is the ankusha of Lord Bhagavan goading you on the road of Nitya Karma. Because if you don't do it, then this is not good. So this is why it says here, Maha Pratyavayat. So supposing one was sick and one was not able to do Nitya Karma, one doesn't incur Pratyavaya. But supposing one suddenly became lazy and decided to not do, one incurs Pratyavaya. So for all those days that one did not do what one was supposed to do, this, praying at the riverside and, praying during the time of the eclipse is very exalted and frees you of all difficulties called Pratyavaya engendered difficulties. And then what? Sasarvavid bhavati, sasarvavid bhavati. The person becomes sarvavit, all knowing. All knowing? Yeah. What is all? That which I know, that which I don't know. Is that all? Mm-hmm. Is that all? That's all? Yeah, that's all. That's all. And then, so do you know what you know? Yes. Do you know what you don't know? Yes, I know all the things I don't know. And I know that I don't know. That makes you all knowing. Sarvagya. That's how you can say Aham Sarvagya. So Sarvavit here, relatively speaking, Bhagavan has one more kind of knowledge that is called Sarvavetritvam, which means that everything in general Bhagavan knows, which the Atma also knows. But Bhagavan knows one more thing in particular, all, Chinese language, Greek food, everything Bhagavan knows, which we cannot know because Bhagavan has no mind. So all knowledge can abide when the restrictive factor, the upadhi called the mind, is not there. It becomes an abidance of all knowledge. So that way, the upadhi wise there is a difference. But here Sarvagyaha and Sarvavit are not used together. So Sarvavit we take to mean Sarvagyo bhavati. Sarvagyaha bhavati, the person becomes all knowing. In every single way becomes all knowing. And then what? Thus spake the Veda. Ya evam Veda ityupanishad. And the Sarvavid bhavati is repeated twice to show that we have really reached the end. Yeah, we have really reached the end. And so this is the Phalashruti. Phalashruti, again I said, we need not give it a lot of weightage, because sometimes it is given as a carrot cake so that the people study the Upanishad at least for that, and the idea is they grow out of it to be able to appreciate the Upanishad for the teaching rather than what the magic it can give and the time bound gifts that it can yield for me. And so that is the idea. But everybody requires a little motivation, So the fragrance of the Upanishad is scattered, the scent, like pav bhaji, you can smell it before you taste it. So you smell it and you go and knock on the door and say, give me some. So the fragrance here is scattered. So if you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will have this. And these are all arthakama desires. That's why they come at the very end. Because if the moksha did not speak, at least let the people chant it, use for the arthakama desires, so that by chanting it, the inner jungle is free of carnivorous predators, so that I can get a chance to be there unobstructed and I can qualify for the knowledge. So this Upanishad is great because it not only gives the knowledge, it gives the mantra, the upasana, and it also gives ways for antahkarana shuddhi. These are all the couched as the phalashruti. It is antahkarana shuddhi, all the mechanisms, because if one is not in a place to desire moksha, at least these other things you can desire. You can desire to be a good human being, you can desire to be a scholar, which is a sattvic desire, to be a scholar, rather than to be a rebel, you know. So you can desire to be a scholar and have that validated. You can desire to be rich, nothing wrong if you are following dharma and have that validated. So it is this Upanishad is a great validator of all desires, no matter where one is, and it's a great Anumanta, the validator of all the desires, and it helps the person grow even as one is chanting it. Yeah. So, what is the announcement now? The announcement is that next Saturday there will not be any Upanishad class, which is January 11th. And I am preponing our, what is it called? Valedictory. So instead of this Upanishad, at the same time we can have the valedictory. Is that okay? Is that all right? Same time is good? Yes. Please chant, please teach. So next Saturday, and then Sunday we can just have a rest day. Instead of having Saturday rest day and then having this on Sunday, we will have our valedictory, because nobody is saying no here or there, and we will have our valedictory function Saturday 7:30. Yeah.
Will we still have Panini in the afternoon on Saturday?
There was never any Panini in the afternoon on Saturday. The last class is on Thursday. Please look at your calendars. Yeah. There was nothing on Saturday except this. And you see that 15-minute extra which I took helped. Yeah. So that is what the thing is. Prepone it by 30 minutes. I think it will be a little difficult because here already we are meeting at 7:30. We'll keep it at 7:30. In fact, we have preponed it by 1 hour. There we go. It was supposed to be at 8:30. So we have preponed it by 1 hour, not just 30 minutes. So next Saturday we'll have the valedictory function here. And I have really, as you see, I have not been taking attendance or anything. We are past that point. And so if you think you deserve a certificate, tell me why and email me and I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you. No problem. Okay? Yeah. Email me arsha@verizon.net. If you want a certificate, email me. Did it come? No, the whole Upanishad. No, it will just probably be an hour and a half, 7:30 to 9. What is the email did not come. So you can email me and I will, I will give you a certificate next week. Even if you had said I want a certificate earlier, email me because things could have changed. Maybe some people had not said and they attended. Maybe they attended but had not, but they said but they were unable to attend. So, any questions? Yes.
I'm unclear on one thing.
Yeah.
At the end, where it talks about the Palashruti,
Yes.
if you chant this mantra, but I'm not sure which mantra.
That was what somebody asked online also. The whole Upanishad.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah, better to take it that way. There's nothing that is denying the interpretation of just one of these mantras that was given, But that doesn't do justice to the Upanishad. So the whole Upanishad, if you understand, teach and chant, then this is what is happening.
If you just wanted to chant one of the chants, how would you determine which one of the mantras?
All of them are equally sacred.
Okay.
Yeah. Choose the Gayatri, Ganapati Gayatri. That's nice. For you, that is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shriyama Devaha. Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatra. Sthirairangai stuštuvagam sastanubhihi. Vyashema devahitai yadayuhu. Swasti na indra vruddhashravah. Swasti na pusha vishvavedah. Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi. Swasti no spatir Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And in the tradition, just to show that the knowledge never finishes, we chant the first line. Om Namaste Ganapataye.
Om Namaste Ganapataye.
Tvameva Pratya. What is that? What's the next line? Tattvamasi. Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi.
Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yeah, so you deserve prasad today because we have finished the text.